Hello, welcome to Math with B. Today we are going to change decimals to percents and percents to decimals. In order to do this, you only need to remember two rules. When changing a decimal to a percent, move the decimal point 2 places to the right. When changing a percent to a decimal, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. In order to remember whether to move our decimal point left or right, it's helpful to come up with a word or phrase which aid retention. For decimal to percent move right, I've come up with the word stapper, deeper, and diaper. All of these have DPR in succession. For percent to decimal move left, I've come up with the word pedal and the phrase please don't laugh. All of these have PDL in succession. Now let's try some. First, we're going to change each percent to a decimal. Percent to decimal, we move our decimal point 2 places to the left. We're starting with 65%. 65% doesn't have a decimal. If a number doesn't have a decimal, you just put a decimal point after the number. Now we can move our decimal point 2 places to the left. 65% equals 0.65. Now let's try another one. 7.3% already has a decimal point, so we can go ahead and move it 2 places to the left. 1, 2. We have to fill in any gaps with zeros. So 7.3% equals 0.073. Let's do one more. Now we have 351%. We don't have a decimal point yet, so we add one after the number. Now we can move this decimal point 2 places to the left. (351% equals 3.51. Now we are going to change each decimal to a percent. Let's start with 2. It doesn't yet have a decimal, so we add one after the number. In order to change a decimal to a percent, we move the decimal point 2 places to the right. We have to fill in any gaps with zeros. So 2 equals 200%. Let's look at another one. Now we have 6.4. We already have a decimal point, so we don't have to add one. We can go ahead and move our decimal point 2 places to the right. And fill in any gaps with zeros. So 6.4 equals 640%. Let's do one more. Here we have the decimal 0.0533. We can move our decimal point 2 places to the right. So this decimal equals 5.33%. Now let's try some on your own. First, change each decimal to a percent. Then, change each percent to a decimal. The answers are at the bottom. Pause this video now so you can complete these by yourself. Now, let's recap what we learned today. When changing decimals to percents or percents to decimals, if there is no decimal point, place one after the number. Next, once you have a decimal point, follow these steps for moving it left or right. decimal to percent, move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Percent to decimal, move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And last, fill in any gaps with zeros. This completes our lesson on changing decimals to percents and percents to decimals. Thank you for tuning in to Math with B.